I'm on a Via Ferrata here at this intersection. It is like a web of variants, but they call them individual Via Ferrata. This is how it happens here in Romania. But bad if here, actually they say this is the Via Ferrata and that one is the variant, but even there, in a place where it is a web of variants, they call them individual Via Ferrata. It is a debate to have. I'm taking a rest because remember, when it hurts, I'm trying to take it slow. I still want to take advantage of opportunity and record the climbs, show you the mountain. I'm also assessing to see how the recovery progresses. Now, while resting, I want to talk to you about Via Ferrata business models. What I'm trying to say is, I see many places they try to monetize Via Ferrata. In many places you have to pay an admission fee. They have a big banner at the start and they say this is private Via Ferrata. Okay, so the mountain is private now. It is your mountain. Suddenly the mountains can be possessed or bought by individuals. And then they say €30 admission fee. What? €30 to climb a Via Ferrata. Not to say a dumb and stupid Via Ferrata. €30 here, and then €30 there, and €30 in that other place. If this is what Via Ferrata becomes, because I understand the necessity of making business, that one I understand. The question here is, what business model do you choose? This is one business model. Admission fee. You want to climb, you have to pay. In my opinion, the mountain should remain free, accessible to everyone, free of charge, and not become private property. My opinion. Then I've seen different business models as well. One of them is charging you for specific things. Either they build the Via Ferrata in a way that you cannot do it alone. You can if you have a training, if you have the tools necessary to complete that, but they make it in a way that you can actually do it safely and easily only with a guide. And that one is a trick they use from the book to make money. It is them trying to deceive the user. The user is prone to human error. They might not know about that. They start climbing. They get to a point where they have their life put in danger. Not fun at all. Not good at all. This is one trick from the book they use to monetize Via Ferrata. Another one is like in Switzerland. They say Via Ferrata is free of admission fee. You don't have to pay anything to access it. You can go, you can climb, have fun. But by the way, we built a zipline. If you want to do the zipline, you have to hire a guide. That one costs you a ton of money. Which is again a trick from the book used to monetize perversely a Via Ferrata. I understand the need for business. Not everything on this planet can be free. This is for sure. There are people willing to pay because they don't think about it. Now, what we have to think about is to what point this becomes a destroyer of civilizations. Because if everything becomes a way of making money, if everything is done to make money, if for us to have access to absolutely anything means to pay, then we have an issue as civilizations, because we are forced to pay to drink water, to pay to sleep, to pay to eat, to pay to live on the planet, to pay to stay healthy, to pay for everything. The thing that makes no sense is we are supposed to evolve, or we are supposedly in the best place of humanity with a lot of evolution, a lot of innovation and technology around us, robots and so forth, but we are still slaves at the end, and we are still not free. We can still not just live life to the fullest. Of course, they say, look, it's too many of us. Like they do in Venice, they now ask you to pay to get access to the city to control the crowds. Trevi fountain in Rome, now you have to pay to get down. And this is a shift like a constitution. When you have a constitution and the constitution guarantees your rights, and then comes a situation where constitution is ignored, now you have a precedent. Why do they always say we don't negotiate with terrorists? For the same reason, now it's the principle. The moment you start monetizing Trevi fountain or access to a city, you open the Pandora box, and now anyone can do it. And from here to a different society or different system or different civilization is not long. And we have to think about these things. How do we want to evolve? Because I see around me women that are divorced, children from divorced families, women claiming or being abused. I'm not an investigator. I'm not there to know exactly what happens, but I'm bombarded by social media, propaganda, and so forth. We know we have negative birth rates. We know that, and so many other things. So these things actually do happen. Our civilizations, not only one civilization, many, it appears they struggle with different things. Even if, again, we are supposed to be at the peak of humanity in terms of everything. We are the smartest ever. Not really, it appears. Then comes the other business model of making money around Via Ferrata, which is local businesses, local administrations, and then the government can start a project. Let's build Via Ferrata. Via Ferrata is fun, should be fun, definitely a full body workout, definitely way to train and manifest your brain, your mind. When you come here and your legs start shaking and you see the exposure and you have to complete that and go through a transition and see how your body gives up and be resilient on continuing, that is great. As many of us should be able to experience it at least once, if not multiple times. The business model should be businesses should want to build Via Ferrata, local administrations as well, and governments, to bring people to the mountain. Like here, you have a river there are some tents there, and then they build a beach on the other side, which is good. You hire an umbrella, you have a restaurant, you have a hotel, you can sleep there overnight if you want to spend a full weekend. Who benefits is first the local businesses. This means employees, through taxes, revenues to the local administrations. Then, yes, you can have next to it the guides. And if someone wants a guide, then should be able to do that. The guide makes money for whomever is really willing and keen to go with a guide. They feel confident and safe, and whatever reason, they don't mind doing that. You still leave it free for everyone else. Then you activate the area because people are coming, and it is healthy. Doing Via Ferrata is healthy. Then you have the employees and the local administration benefiting as well. Everyone has only to win, instead of just one person or two getting rich. Access, entry, fee required, you get in, you give me the €30, and I get rich. I. We should think about this.